And it's weird, you're also fist pumping.
Alright, let me mark that 4th level spell on my list. I think that's the end of mine / Mahogany's turn, unless he would like to use a bonus action.
Yeah, I would also like to use a bonus action to to give Liberation a point of inspiration. Or inspiration.
So, alright, Riot, mark off one of your bardic inspirations. And then, Riot, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
I will take this D12 with that plum.
It's 23.
23, okay.
24, actually. Nope, 23.
24.
Turn it metal.
Okay. As yet another blood tendril of this thing lurches forward and shoots a thin green ray at you. But you dodge out of the way, and it disintegrates part of the stairs where you were standing. Nath, you're stuck taking Mahogany's turn. He's the one who hasn't done anything.
Where's the Triceratops stat block?
I'm not a Triceratops. I'm sorry. Oh, a Triceratops stat block? I can also post that.
Yeah, because you're a Triceratops, right?
Yeah, listen, it's complicated right now for me. I've got a lot of tabs open.
Polymorph status, it's complicated.
There you go.
Yeah, everybody's Facebook profile just, maybe we should just change that on all
I will, the
accounts.
things that I will point out is that if you want to do any cool spell shit, it's a bonus action to turn back into Mahogany.
Okay. I don't want to complicate things by using shape change, otherwise I would, just because I don't want to look up all the other stat blocks.
I can't wait.
So let's just go ahead with, let's just go ahead. Wait, you just get one attack as a Triceratops?
That's why I think it would be a good use of your
Yeah, bonus action, shape change.
Okay, Mahogany, you feel your
Yes.
form, probably for the first time ever, completely slip away from you without you controlling it. You find yourself back in a Genasi body.
And I get to
this
move
happens
5
sometimes
feet
while
when
I'm
I do that?
sleeping.
Yeah, Locke can't do anything about that.
Yep. And then, does shape change give me the initial cast? Like, do I change as I cast it?
Yes, absolutely.
Let
Yeah,
me look at the
open up that
restrictions.
whole monster list. Anything CR 17 and below.
1 second. This might take a minute.
Wow. This is your life, only I'm getting to make everyone else live my life. That's right. This is what it's like every time.
So,
This is
Kelian
why
and
I
Liberation, you
didn't
regret
play
taking
Druid.
your own turns now?
You guys
I
have
am-
6 stat blocks open? Oh, I got like 30.
What are the actual limits on this?
None? It's
So you're saying Draco Lich is valid?
For wild shape, no. Has to be a beast.
This is shape change.
shape change
Oh.
is
Shape change, I have no idea.
creature. It can't be undead. Anything but construct and undead.
Mm-hmm. Dragon Turtle. Do these have
There
a
you
land
go.
speed?
A dragon
No,
turtle
they
will
do
not
not.
physically fit in this space.
Aw, damn.
Yeah, but that could be really good for us.
It would be
Because
really
everything is just over.
it would be really bad for Mahogany. There is a little bit of water for him to swim in here.
Yay.
Wait, can I do Celestials?
Yep. As long as I've
Planetar.
seen one, and we have been on Mount Celestia.
Planetar. Do it.
Well then.
Okay. That's under Angel in the 5e book, right? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
CR 16.
And I will, for everyone's benefit, I will link it the D&D Beyond list.
So that's my action, and my bonus action is my right.
Yeah, you wild
Yes.
shaped out as your bonus
Yep.
action.
You have a move left.
I think Mahogany is fine where he is.
Okay, so you just
He has
shapeshift
reach
into
now,
a
right?
planetar.
Wait, are you in the water? Don't you want to get out of the water?
Isn't Mahogany right here?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Mahogany's there.
controlling me.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
What's the reach on this thing? It should be 10 feet.
On the blood thing,
On the Planetar.
he's got a
Doesn't
5-foot
it
reach
list
with his greatsword.
Okay, well then,
Yeah.
yeah, just re-engage.
He's good. Okay, he's good there. All right. Everybody make me
And
that
you can-
charisma saving throw again.
Alright, let me just roll at +7.
Do we still have that? Do we still have the penalties from?
Yes, and actually, Nath, your penalty is
Oh.
-6, not -4.
Oh, okay.
I missed.
What was my penalty? I don't
-2.
remember anymore. -2?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just get a +10 then.
Because
Minotaur!
yeah, they go
Minotaur's
+12
pretty
charisma
good.
save.
24.
Riot, how'd you do?
Who are you asking?
Riot,
Oh, 11.
11. Nath,
-4.
-4. Mahogany,
24.
Kelian,
5.
and Liberation.
19.
Okay. Gotta do some more bookkeeping on my end. I can't wait to pull this ridiculous shit with my other group.
This is absolutely absurd.
My other thought for what was happening, by the way, because I had the 2 suspicions,
Yeah.
were that those question marks were going to turn into our characters from the last campaign.
No, I don't
And
have
we were
those
going
stat
to
blocks
each
anymore.
have to fight our old character.
I feel like I kind of already did that to you once this campaign by throwing LC Clone and Serenity back at you.
Yeah, you did do that. This is wild.
No, I'm shape change, not wild shift. Oh Christ, that's so many different things I can pick from. Oh no.
Analysis paralysis, baby.
Mahogany.
No, I'm within 5 feet of something.
I have a 24 and a 19 to hit you, and I've got the Planetar stat block open, so I know both of those hit.
Yeah, 19 just hits.
Yep. How about that?
Yep.
All right. As
Can I
part
control
of the...
Riot to make her knock that off?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that myself.
I'll let Riot
As a
control
Riot.
her own reactions if you want. Just to simplify things, we'll just say reactions
Yeah,
refresh
Nath
at the
has,
top
like
of the
7
list.
reactions, so that's good.
Alright, so that 19 turns into an 8.
Okay, so
Oh,
that's
one
gonna miss.
That doesn't hit. Oh shit! Planetars can cast Raise Dead.
21 points of slashing damage plus 22 points of radiant damage, which you do resist as a Planetar. As this
Yeah.
blood thing manifests a sword identical to the one you find yourself carrying and lashes out at you. So now it's Mahogany's turn, and you can take your own turn, or you can take anybody else's.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take one for the team here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna control Kelian
Okay.
and shoot the thing that is within 5 feet of me, because I don't think we want Kelian rolling for himself.
You just want to roll all those d6s. You could just say you just want to roll all the d6s.
Yeah, I
Hey,
really do.
Kelian, spellcasters don't roll to hit.
Oh my god. So how many
I'm gonna
d6s does he
Shoot
roll?
the blood golem.
Okay, if you roll a 1, I'm gonna lose my
How
actual
funny
shit.
would that be? But no, I have access to Kilian's lucky token.
That's true, you do.
Nope, that's 13 plus 23.
23 will hit.
How many d6s in that, Kelian? I feel like we need to make the Kelian portion of this table and just put the d6s there.
There's so many
It's
dice on this
96.
table.
It's in the corner here.
Okay, so these 6. We'll just leave these here for Kelian times. God help you if you crit. That's 42 piercing damage, magical.
Okay.
And you marked off a bolt?
Oh, God, no, I can't. Thank
Nope.
goodness.
Kelian can though on his own sheet.
Yeah.
And I need Kelian to make that strength saving throw, starting his turn in the Maelstrom.
Yeah,
Oh no.
I rolled a 9.
A 9. That's not gonna.
What do you
Probably
have
not
with that,
gonna do it.
Kelian?
1.
10?
Percent
Yeah.
in strength.
This is against Riot spell save DC, so yeah, no.
What is her cleric spell save DC?
No, I simplified it. It's just against the monster spell save DC,
Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
which is
That's good
I,
for us.
I think
If
it's
it was
better
Riot
than
spell save DC.
Yeah, it's better than Riot's Bard for sure.
Kelian.
Yeah.
Let me count some. 26 points of bludgeoning damage, and the maelstrom drags you back 10 feet.
You said 26.
26. I rolled some decently high numbers on that.
Hey, Riot, why didn't you pick like an easier to get out of spell? You're a rogue, right? Can I use your bonus action? No, Kelian, can I use your bonus action to run out of this fucking shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have
It's
contact.
difficult terrain, though, isn't it?
It is difficult
It
terrain.
is.
So at the beginning of this, though, is that when it pulls me back?
At the start of your turn, yeah. If you start.
Okay,
Okay,
so
yeah.
it pulls me
Yeah.
back to the center.
Yep.
Then
you
with move and
fire.
bonus. Yeah.
So move, bonus.
Move, and then bonus should be out, yeah.
And you want to end Kelian's turn right there?
Well,
I mean-
I can't get much further.
Okay.
I can get literally right here.
Kelian,
Sorry,
you watch out of your own eyes in horror as your legs take you towards the giant monster. Something I don't think you've ever done in your life. And you're still standing right next to it. It's right there. Liberation.
Hey.
I don't like this combat very much.
You've got an AC, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Are you dodging?
I was until I got polymorphed. Am I still dodging?
Yeah.
You haven't taken a turn yet, so.
Yeah.
I mean, what does it look like when the T-Rex dodges?
It's rad.
I have an 18.
That hits.
That hits.
Yep.
But you have all this T-Rex HP now.
It's gonna
I
be
do have T-Rex HP.
15 points. And
You Rex damage.
it blocks your key.
Of course it does.
Yes, it does. Second hit is gonna miss.
Even more like an actual tank, though.
Liberation. You can take your own turn, or you can take Mahogany's, Riot's, or Nath's.
Yeah. My key is blocked, so that means that my attacks are gonna suck out loud.
Yeah, pick somebody more fun.
Planetar right here. Just saying.
Yeah, no, let's go Planetar. Fuck it.
Okay. Do you have the stat block for it?
I did pull it up.
Planetar
Yeah,
has a
so-
lot of shit.
Yeah, does he have multi? Yeah, he does.
He
Alright,
does
so-
have multi-attack.
Multi-attack, yeah. So here we go. 2 sword hits on the. Actually, I'm gonna do 1 sword hit to the blood golem, and then 1 to the 1 to Destil block.
Okay.
The blow one, as the case may be.
The golem. Okay. Does a 30 hit the golem?
It sure does.
Okay.
Oh, what was that? Is that 46 plus 5d8?
It is.
That's weird.
It's a
That's
lot
a
of
weird
damage.
amount of damage. And you make 2 attacks?
Yep.
Destin Lock is not getting hit with a 13.
No.
All right, yeah. So
You rolled a
46.
nat 1?
I did.
Oh. It's a bummer.
It's because Kelian's in my brain right now.
That makes sense.
All right, I'm gonna take these E4s right there, and then 5d8 radiant damage. Holy shit, this is a lot of damage. Taking this d8 as well. Here we go.
So we all get attacked by mimics.
Again, that's a lot of 5s.
51
51.
damage to the blow lump.
This is where I would say it's bloodied, except, like, obviously. Is Mahogany moving or staying put?
Does he have a bonus action he can do?
Not with this stat block, he doesn't.
No, he does not. Okay, then, yeah, he's staying put.
Okay.
Got a real good reflex, then. A reaction, rather.
Okay, bear with me just 1 second. I know, my catchphrase, whatever.
We wouldn't change you, Brick Road.
Well, the thing is, like, we have to bear with all of us, because this is a really fucky fight, but it's great.
Everyone turns into a Planetar.
Riot. Would you do me the honor of making a wisdom saving throw?
Sure. Has a 26 here.
26 will do it, but you're still going to take half of this damage. So 32 points of psychic damage, which you can cut in half because you make your save. As you just hear the thing whispering dissonantly in your mind. And you're like, is this what I've been doing to people all this time? Why does anybody like me?
That's not what Riot thinks. Riot thinks I could do that better.
All right, so it's your turn.
Who do I got to play with?
Yourself, Nath, or Liberation. But Liberation is limited because his key is currently blocked.
Okay.
He does have Bardic Inspiration.
He does, and he's a dinosaur.
He's
Yeah.
a dino- yeah.
I'm gonna be Nath again. Sorry,
Okay.
Nath.
No,
I'm
go for
sorry.
it. I don't actually have a problem with this.
And because both of us know Dispel Magic, but Nath is way better at it than me. And I'm gonna dispel this Maelstrom
Okay.
with a 3rd level charge.
Go ahead and make it's going to be a spellcasting ability check.
Yep.
But it's going to be
You
using
got a
Nath's
plus 11
intelligence.
on that.
Right.
And that heals the ward of 6 hit points.
Come on.
So that's a 13s, which is exactly what it would have been otherwise. And I know already that Maelstrom is a 5th level spell.
So you needed a 15.
Yeah, and I got a 13.
So you thought Nath was really good at this. And Nath needs to go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
He's flying.
Oh, he's flying. That's right. Yes.
Oh, Liberation. It might block it. Oh, I can't spend key points. That's right. Shit.
Is Nath moving or staying put?
Nath is going to. Let's see. He's flying. How tall is the blood golem?
It varies wildly. The size and shape of this thing, it's lashing out in all directions. It's averaging a bit taller than you guys, maybe 6-7 feet.
How much fly speed does Nath have at the moment?
60, I think. It's just
Okay.
level 3 fly, but
Then Nath is going to go over here, so he's not in the range of line spells anymore.
Okay.
And that's it, unless Nath has any bonus actions that I don't know about.
no, I don't have any useful bonus actions.
Okay.
Okay. Mahogany. I have an 18 to hit you. And I need a 19, don't I?
Yeah, you need a 19. I have natural armor as a Planetar.
Kelian, you have luck points, don't you?
Theoretically, yeah.
How does a 20 hit you?
I was gonna say rolling worse again would be the true Kelian lucky experience.
I gotta roll some of these d6s again. Okay. $34 points of magical piercing to Mahogany, as this thing backstabs you. Blood coalesces into a sword, and because you're standing within 5 feet of one of its allies,
Yeah.
it gets the full sneak attack on you. Kelian, it's down to, at this point, Riot and Liberation, is it not?
Yes.
Okay.
So I got a question.
Yep.
If I cast a spell as Riot, do I have to sing it?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, I have a text file open called planescape-lyrics.txt,
Oh my god.
which has all the lyrics I've ever written for any of my songs, including some I've never sung before.
So just so you know here, McDohl, if you don't take him up at, I would.
Oh no, I'm doing it. I don't care. Try to beat my charisma, assholes. Nick, I'm gonna need you to send me that over AIM.
Yeah, I need that too.
I'm putting
Aim is
on-
dead, you assholes. Stop rubbing it in.
So, sorry, my options are Riot and
Liberation.
And
Liberation.
Tyrannosaurus.
If you start Riot's turn, she's going to have to roll against the Maelstrom. If you start Liberation's turn, he's a dinosaur, but his key is blocked.
But he's still a dinosaur.
He's
right?
still a dinosaur, yes.
Okay.
By the
'Cause-
by,
And he also has, he's an inspired dinosaur.
Yeah, I got a departing inspiration die. Brickroad, is this the one where I have to make the save at the end of every one of my turns to break it?
It should be on your character sheet. It's your class ability.
I mean, the class ability has one where I spend 2 key points to extend it until you make a save. Otherwise, it ends at the end of my next turn.
No, it'll just end at the end of your next turn, or at the end
Okay.
at the end of its next turn before Liberation's next turn, if that makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
'Cause it's taking 5 turns every round.
let's. All right, I'm gonna take control of Liberation.
Okay.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Do you have that
I'm
stat
going
block?
to- Yeah, I'm going to bite, lock, and tail whip the blood golem.
All right, roll it.
This is the bite. That is 27 to
Did
hit.
you roll at disadvantage?
No.
You have to roll at disadvantage.
Why?
His key is blocked.
Blocked.
Yeah.
That's that. No, I just thought that meant you couldn't spend key points. Okay.
It means a lot of things.
It's still at 22.
22 does hit. Yeah, it's a real powerful ability. You would think he would have used it more often.
All right. So this is the bite damage. So it's 4d12.
It's a lot of damage.
Could be better though. It's 23 7 is 30.
30. And
30 bite.
does that still count as magical?
Technically, so I just read that it's your unarmed strikes count as magical coming resistance.
It's an unarmed strike.
Okay.
Key empowered strikes.
And this is now the tail attack. Also at disadvantage, right?
Yep.
That is a 20.
20 will hit.
And that is 3. So. Yeah, not terribly wonderful. That is 20 damage.
All right. Making the math real easy for me. Thank you very much.
That
And
is a very average damage. That's literally what the average damage is listed on the stat block.
Is Liberation moving or staying put?
His key is blocked, so he can't.
Spend key points. Nope.
And so I think you're not in the maelstrom. He moves over when he's still in both, right? do that.
Yes. I mean, Locke technically doesn't have a threat range at the moment.
Oh, wow.
He's not making attacks or anything. Okay. That's going to bring us to Zook,
Who's
Zook's
also
gonna
flying.
who's also
Yeah,
flying.
What's the flight speed on that?
60.
10, 20, 30. Disengage as a bonus action. 40,
Okay.
50, 60. And snipe the blood golem
All right, with the green steel arrows.
with his arrow. Yeah, green steel arrow.
Gotcha.
Nat 20.
That's a lot of dice.
Here we go, Zook.
He's like, I don't need to ever take control of Kelian. I already get to roll sneak attack.
Alright, so there's the 10 dice right there.
Oh my god, you guys, I
And
made a
another
mistake.
10 more.
I ate McDonald's.
Yeah. You have nobody to blame but yourself.
I
right,
got
bro?
that. I got that McDonald's feels now.
McDohl ate at the hat, and he doesn't feel as bad as you do right now.
That was yesterday, though. I've got 24 hours on it, so.
Oh, I feel bad. I had a Wawa sandwich last night, and I forgot to tell McDohl about it.
Oh, man. Can't wait till I'm in Orlando and I can partake in it.
71 damage.
71, and you're shooting Bloodmans?
Yeah.
Okay. Is anybody else rooting for Zook to get the kill on this thing?
A little bit.
And
A
Zook
little
is
bit,
hanging
yeah.
out over here by the door?
Yeah.
This door is now closed, by the way. The spike that you've
Correct.
hammered in there, no longer there.
I assumed as much.
All right. Kelian.
Taking.
Yo.
Give me 1 second to add all this up.
Wouldn't be a final battle if I didn't die, so...
21 points of force damage. As a barrage of magic missiles fires out of this thing and just starts hammering you up and down your body. And you're like, why am I standing right next to this giant monster? Nath, you are stuck with Riot.
Alright, so what happens at the start of my turn?
It's going to be a strength saving throw or you get dragged back into the maelstrom.
And what's the DC on this?
Make your roll and see. I'll tell you if you pass.
It's a 12.
12's not going to do it.
+1.
A 13's also not going to do it. Okay, I rolled a lot of 4s. 23 points of bludgeoning damage to Riot.
And how far back to that dragger?
10 feet up the stairs.
Okay.
I mean, technically it
And
hurts
then,
a little bit more because you're bouncing up the stairs as the maelstrom drags you.
And also
Let's see if... Yep. And let's see if I can pull this off. This is going to be with a 5th level. Fuck your spell. Your old robes smell. We piss on you and your books too. Your magic's broke, your staff's a joke. It's cramped and dead inside your head. It's our turn now. My song's a plow to break right through the spell of you.
Is that the spoken word version?
So, Riot, you hear your words coming out and casting your spell, but they're just being spoken. There's no melody. It's really lawful.
Yep.
All right, and so you're just nullifying the spell.
That was
That's
5th level. Yeah, there's no reason to fuck around with this thing.
it. Maelstrom is gone. All right. Everybody make a charisma saving throw. You still have your penalties. Mahogany, you're at -2. Riot, you're at -12.
Wait, 12? It was... Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah. And Nath, you're at -6. You gave a lot of blood to those doors.
Mm-hmm.
By
Yeah,
far the
Not
most.
all of it voluntarily.
It happens.
Mahogany, what'd you get?
23.
Liberation?
Liberation got a 16. I'm sorry.
Riot?
11.
Kelian?
21.
And Nath?
Nath got a 10, but I think I'm going to spend 3 power points and pump that up to a 13.
Okay. It's like, I don't want to get stuck with Kelian again at the last second. So you'll have 2 options this time.
Woohoo.
All right.
Oh, I don't have power points on the sheet. God damn it.
This is hell on Riot's flaw, by the way.
Obviously.
She cannot stand other people taking control of herself because...
I need Nich to move his hand out of there.
Oh, yeah. Whoops.
Thank
There
you.
we go.
I mean, you deserve it after you forced Nath to act against his own flaw. You made him make a deal with those Lithids.
True.
Okay. I need Kelian and Nath to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is this against a spell?
It is.
8 with advantage.
Oh, I think that's a 20. It's 21, 20, 2020.
2020.
That'd be a 21.
Not cool. It's cool.
36 points of radiant damage. You can
Ha!
cut that in half if you save, and if you didn't save, you're also blinded. As a gap opens in this blood, and this enormous beam of light, brilliant as the sun, comes blinding out of it, encompassing
What was
both
the
of you.
total on that?
38.
So divided by 2 twice. 10. Okay.
Mahogany, your options are wide open because you're a friggin' twink-ass planetar.
Still
It's
concentrating
weird.
on fly.
I wonder who did that. I'm gonna.
This might be your last chance to sing. Just saying.
Control Riot,
Okay.
Oh boy.
and I'm gonna cast a spell on this blood golem, on this golem, as you would.
Sure.
Dance like your life depends on it. Dance like you just caught the bug. Dance like you don't give a shit about nothing. Let me see you cut that rug. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Dance like there are ants in your pants. Dance like you won't live to see another day, cause baby, this is your last chance.
Nice.
That's Mahogany's irresistible dance.
I like it.
Actually, it's still Riot's irresistible dance.
It didn't sound like Riot's irresistible dance to me.
Actually, it was pretty close.
It's actually Otto's ear. I don't know who Otto is, but... Okay, so Riot, you're technically now concentrating on this spell.
Yep.
What does this thing
well,
dance like? This amalgamation of
thing.
all 5 of you.
Here's the thing that Mahogany may have forgotten. Liberation is no longer a T-Rex.
No, that's fine. He didn't enjoy it very much anyway.
So what does this golem's dance look like?
I don't know, Mahogany.
I
You
will
cast
say
the
it
spell.
does specifically specify that is a comic shuffling dance. But I'm going to say that it is in turn, like it takes a couple steps, like dancing, and then it shifts and it dances like each individual part of the party. Like most of them are pretty ridiculous. You can tell when it's Nath, for example. But
Just unceremoniously shaking his leg and then
Yeah.
shaking his leg.
but Riot's is pretty good, and Kelian's is out of this fucking world. Like none of us has ever seen it before, but he's clearly been working on it.
Is Riot moving or staying put?
Riot is going to again try to. Oh wait, no, actually, you don't need to get out of this maelstrom, do you?
It's
No,
gone.
it's gone.
Gone now.
I'm gonna put you in a place where if you get hit, they only have to target you, and they can't hit anyone else.
And what's the spell save CD on that DC on that dance?
I don't know, something
Okay.
preposterous.
It's a wisdom save for 20, and they have to use their action to make it.
Well, he uses action, but he does not pass the save. So that's going to bring us to Kelian. You can take your turn, or Mahogany's, or Liberations, or Nath's.
And it's advantage on attacks and disadvantage on dex saves from
Yep.
dance.
This thing's
Yep.
dancing horribly.
I still have an ace level disintegrate.
Yeah, I was looking at that. But
It's like he's browsing at the D&D store. Like he's got a gift card. He's like, what do I do?
let's.
I'm a planetar. I just want to share the joy of being Mahogany with everyone.
I mean, becoming a planetar was good. I liked it.
It was really good.
Wait, are you complimenting the action that you took?
Yeah, no, I enjoy it. Like you said, he was.
No, he's right. It was pretty good.
Spending 5 minutes reading through the monster manual to pick something that's great.
Yeah, let's do. Man, okay.
There's so many good options.
There's so much to do.
So much to
I'm just
see.
picturing him looking through these sheets like, man, Kelian sucks.
Yeah, let's. Let's do a multi-attack with Mahogany the Planetar.
Okay. You do have advantage
That
on
is-
these rolls.
This is a thing I want to do.
Is it exciting that you get to make 2 different attacks? So, I mean...
Oh, it's a crit.
mm,
You'll still be rolling like basically the same amount of dice.
Oh
you
yeah,
can
those
thank
bonus
me twice for that crit.
and those dice are bonus damage. Like the bonus damage is dice.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. It's a fucked up thing to do.
mm-hmm. Aren't you glad you didn't have to fight one of these things?
This
Yeah.
is weaker than the Solar
Yeah,
that we didn't
No,
have.
we
to
didn't have
fight.
to fight is worse.
Oh, no, the Solar would have been much worse, absolutely. No, it's at CR 21, and it has arrows of slaying.
8. Do you
Can
need
I
this
roll
damage
crits when he's
separated?
playing as
No,
someone?
just give me the grand total damage.
Grand total?
Yeah.
2.
Oh god, 10
Three.
10d8 radiant damage.
Where are you seeing 10d8?
Well, 5d8
Oh,
radiant
radiant.
damage.
Yeah, sorry, I was...
Is
never
this
mind.
just the first attack?
This is just the
Yeah.
first attack, yeah.
You sure you don't want to roll both those attacks at once? Think of all the dice.
Well, I'm thinking if Locke's still alive when he's gonna hit him. That's kind of crappy.
Yeah, you rolled well on the d8s.
That's 70 damage.
70 damage. You slash out with Mahogany's sword and blast through this creature. And it just loses all cohesion, splashes to the floor.
Oh.
And as it does, all of you, I mean, you've been feeling the sensation, everything you've done to this thing. You've been feeling the impact, the pressure. Hasn't been painful, but when you see the thing splatter to the floor, lifeless, it's as though all of that pressure and impact that is built up over the course of the scuffle takes its toll all at once. Everybody take 5 levels of exhaustion. You all collapse to the floor. You feel your minds disconnect, and you're not sure if it's the stress of that, or if it's some kind of connection between the creature you're fighting and the blood in your own body. But for some reason, you all essentially black out.
Oh.
Zook's still good though.
He is. That's it. That's the end. Thanks for playing.
Alright, see ya.
Yeah, bye.
Later.
Zook is today's winner.
I'm very happy to do this. Oh, no, wait. No, I gotta oh my god, no, we need to get rid of all that. I'm gonna do this.
This is a mess.
Yeah, oh,
Oh,
look
that image
how nice.
no longer available.
There's the bad end.
But the future refused to change.
You loaded it up and it's just aim.
The 5 of you open your eyes, you wake up, and the first thing you're aware of is a quaint little campfire and the smell of cooking food. You look at your surroundings, and you're on the deck of the Relentless. You're very near to where Eldov's disgusting hut is standing still. The Relentless has suffered severe damage. One of the wheels is cracked and broken in half. So the whole thing is listing to the side. Hundreds of dead fiends of all different shapes and varieties lie around you on the deck and out on the battlefield, spread out over the plains of Nessus. You see a group of 5 dead Illithids that somebody killed for some reason. Nothing's moving.
Jorb.
Everything around you looks like it's in a stasis, and you realize there's a burning candle next to the campfire. Over the campfire built on the deck is just this little makeshift pot hanging there. And an elderly gentleman is stirring a pan of beans, slowly cooking them. You see Zook nearby. He's just outside of what must be the bubble of stasis. You see he's not moving either. He's kneeling down next to what you assume to be Terran's body, which is crisscrossed with painful looking lesions. He was lashed to the back of Locke's throne. And Zook is worrying over it. He's kneeling down. You see in one hand he's got the bottle containing Terran's mind. And the 5 of you come around on the deck of the Relentless. And the old man looks up. And he says, "The 5 of you have caused me no end of trouble all this time. Look at the mess you've gotten yourselves into now." And he smiles.
I knew it was a good idea to save that last. Yeah.
I lean over and I pinch Riot.
And for once, you do physical damage to Riot, and you don't feel it.
Oh god, guys, I think we're dreaming.
But you all feel exceedingly weak, like you all have just lost an important part of yourselves. Like some part of you has been destroyed, blown away. Aunt Nancy offers you beans.
Liberation accepts.
Yeah, Nath will take some beans.
I could eat.
Yeah, why not?
Sleep too, for that matter.
He says,
Aunt Nancy's beans.
at the outset, he gave you all some very simple rules to follow. And he said over the course of this whole competition, you managed to break every single one of them.
Right, just looks immensely pleased with herself.
That sounds like us.
Liberation puts an arm around Riot's shoulder and grins.
I guess.
He says that he offers you his gratitude because you've delivered unto him the most precious gift that a humble man in his position can receive.
What's that?
You've given him the gift of a story.
Yeah. Saw that coming.
He says, a year ago, there was a faceless bureaucrat being ground around in the gears of some immense faction covered in red tape. And now, and he motions to Nath, he says, there stands a mighty wizard and hunter, one of the greatest spell slingers in the plains. He says there was once a no-talent singer whose stubbornness caused her to be unable to spread her talents amongst the people. And now, and he motions over to Riot, I look at the high priestess of a god thought long dead. He says there once was the spark of imagination in the mind of a pit fighter who had lofty goals but no ambition. And now, he motions over to Liberation. He says, I see the breaker of chains. He said, once there was a pencil pusher who fancied himself a back alley assassin destined for the prison or the worm or worse. And now, he motions to Kelian. He says very proudly, he's only destined for the mazes. And he says, once there was a tree that someone made into a bookshelf.
Yeah, I got you there, huh?
And he laughs to himself. And he says, but this formless shape, and he motions to Mahogany, has found a perfect state of being. And all you needed was a little help from your Aunt Nancy.
Is that the joke? Is that what we win? What we are already?
He asks, what more do you want? He says, you control magnificent power. He says, you own priceless artifacts and command the respect of thousands of people across the plains. You reshaped the city of doors with but a word. What else can I possibly offer you?
Blushes a little bit.
Fair. It is a good story.
Could use more Daedalithids, but it's not bad. Always time for a second verse.
He says he looks forward to telling it for millennia to come.
What did you get out of this, apart from the story? I mean, presumably there was a point to that, and she points to Terran.
He says at the outset of this whole game, when he was setting up the rules, he put the pieces in motion to mimic a group of like adventurers from the Prime. People who made mistakes, but did great heroic acts. People who found their way to the plains, and some of them found fame and fortune, and others found, well, you see what happened to others. He said he wasn't sure which of the 8 of those people was most worthy of telling a story about. So he chose 8 groups from around the plains. Some of them who you got to know. Some of them became your bitter enemies. Some of them became comrades in arms. And he decided to base each one of these groups around one of those adventurers. And he says you've got to know these people over the months. And so he asks you, which one are you?
Well,
And then
Fred, obviously.
But I do owe you a little something. A little reward. So, if you requested of your old Aunt Nancy, I could see it in my heart to... And he looks around at the desolation and chaos of the blood war raging around you. To see you home peaceably. If you don't think you can get out of this jam yourself.
I think Nath can take care of us.
Yeah.
And he stands, he tips his hat, and he says, enjoy the beans.
Cheers.
And the candle sputters out and dies, and the blood war comes alive around you. And what next?
Nath, I'm not kidding. I really need you to do that right now.
Yeah. GTFO now. What about Zook and Terran?
Are we eating magic beans?
They're just regular beans. Sometimes a bean is just a bean.
I want them to be magic beans.
Yeah, what about Zook and Terran? Can you get them?
I've got a plane shift if you all want to join hands. Grab those 2.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, you see Terran moving under his own accord now, back in his own body. He looks severely weak. He's
I'm assuming
leaning
we
on
still
Zook
all
for
have
help.
5 levels of exhaustion, right?
Pretty much. It kind of sucks right now. I mean, like I said, you feel like you're missing part of yourself.
I'll look at Mahogany. Well, Mahogany, in that last fight, why don't you pick the fork? And I open up my component pouch where all my plane shift forks are hanging off.
What do you got?
So Mahogany's perusing the forks as Riot just sitting there with her arms crossed, tapping her foot impatiently.
Alright. How about I keep talking slowly and pretend I didn't close the tabs already? I could use a fucking vacation. Let's go with Elysium.
Sure, anywhere.
That works. Here we go. I'll cast plane shift.
So roll some percentile on a 1 to 43. So you plane shift to Elysium. I have a map for Elysium, I think, that I can load in. It's not that it matters here at the end of the game, but... Oh, I do. Here it is.
Well, you could also just load in Little Sigil.
Old Sigil.
New Sigil.
No, New Sigil is Fred's Sigil.
Right.
No, that one's Sigil.
Oh, right.
So you plane shift back to Elysium. So the question is, are your adventures behind you, or are your adventures ahead of you?
Oh, very much ahead of me.
I mean, it depends on how we define adventure. Kelian's up for the political adventure, sure.
Riot, I believe you and I have to destroy the rest of the dust in some way that it'll never be used again. And then probably have to do something about that warlock.
Yeah, at some point.
So the real question, I guess, for Nath is, what do you do with Locke's name after this? Now that you have essentially control over him.
I mean, he hasn't been destroyed yet, right?
He was banking on that monster weakening you all enough that he could outlast the duration of the spell, and obviously that didn't happen.
But
So-
he's still Can you actually destroy a Pit Fiend with this spell if I cast it again or anything? Like
You could
6
essentially.
successive casts?
What you'd have to do is first summon him and bind him again, and then he's
Okay.
pretty much at your mercy.
Yeah, no, we'll set it. I mean, as soon as we're recovered, then I'll do an inward-facing summoning circle,
Okay.
and use True Name, and we can take care of him.
Where do you do this at? Like, where in the multiverse do you want to?
I think Mount Celestia is the safest. Plus, it'll
Yeah.
piss him off.
Okay, so
It's 2 hops, but I'm okay with that. Keep him on Mechanist for a while, and then Mount Celestia. Because it's only 4 planes per cast.
so you're just
But it's 7th level spell, so...
destroy Destin Lock. That's the goal.
Yep, put him in a circle, get all the magic we need together, and just take him out.
So Nath is his faction status in Sigil was he would. What is your faction right now? I forget now.
The Lawgivers, the
Right, you.
ones being run by,
Holostwap.
yeah, Dwarf on the off plane. Used to run,
Okay,
was
so
crazy.
is that what's in Nath's future then?
Honestly, he's going to take a well-needed vacation and then probably try and hunt down Lithids or with Riot to destroy this dust and the warlock that was hideously cursed by it.
So you eventually go back to Beator and make sure that Discordance is put to rest.
Yep.
Uh,
Probably cast some legend lores, find out how we can destroy the dust.
and so Kelian, it's politics for you,
Yeah.
sitting on
Politics.
the Sigil Advisory Council.
Yeah.
Are you a just politician, or do you immediately turn to corruption and vice?
Can we remind ourselves what Kelian's flaw is here?
Yeah, but I also feel like we need to take a moment and remind ourselves what Kelian's alignment is now, traitor.
True.
Well, I mean, if he's in politics, that's going to be real fluid real fast, so... Also, he has this ledger for what's-her-butt.
Yeah.
Lady Lygress, so that's going to be fun holding over her.
So I mean, you like Nath, you want to go forth and destroy your enemies, but for you, it's like it's political
Pretty much.
and financial ruin that you want to bring.
God, he really is going to become Rowan Darkwood, isn't he?
Yes, he is. There it is. Hey,
It was a 4th Darkwood situation!
who wants to guess what Rowan Darkwood's alignment is?
Oh,
Oh, it's look at his
Kelian is Darkwood. Oh my god.
the whole time.
Liberation.
Hey,
All that Toral shit was a lie.
So what happens with you?
Liberation gets together some of the followers from the former Godsman and whoever followed on with him from with the Mind's Eye, and he starts basically he builds a reputation up around himself that is equal parts Robin Hood and Amon from Korra in
Okay.
the City of Brass.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I've got all these elemental bender abilities now. Might as well put them to use. What about Riot?
Oh.
So Riot heard once that Eric used to be a pirate,
Yeah.
and Riot also thought the most beautiful thing she saw in her entire travel was looking out from the deck of the Gnomish Whelk. So Riot goes to where it's hard to find her. She goes into the Phlogiston.
She's a space pirate now.
She signs aboard a crew with the intention of someday having her own ship and crew.
Well, I mean, you have the resources to captain your own ship at the end of this campaign.
Yeah. So that's what Riot intends to do.
So, to what end? Like, are you just out there seeking fortune, or are you out there hunting Illithids?
Not Illithid specifically, but Riot is one of those pirates who hunts pirates.
Hey, give me a sending whenever it is, and I'll...
Yeah. But also, spreading the glory of Osprey throughout the Phlogiston.
So by the end of Riot's mortal life, she is like the space ocean goddess.
Right.
There are whales out there, just saying. Mahogany never does anything interesting again, right?
So I got a plan.
If
Which
you
is
start
good.
out with the rats.
No.
Okay.
Which is good, because Mahogany actually accidentally changes his faction. Because he goes back into Sigil and immediately realizes there's a bunch of former members of factions around with no faction essentially keeping them in line. So every time he finds one of these lunatics, he gets them a job at Serendipity to like kind of keep them on track.
Mm-hmm.
And he accidentally forms the faction Serendipity. Which takes the place of, if each of the old factions had a plane, Serendipity's plane is the Outlands. Because their faction benefit and flaw is that as long as they're currently allied and working with a member of a faction, they replicate that person's faction benefit and flaw.
Okay.
There's also one more thing for Kelian.
Mm-hmm.
I just remembered too. That this is genuinely true. How is Terran doing as an individual?
I mean, once you put his brain back in his head,
Yeah.
He's no less weird or eccentric, but
Okay.
Zook and them inform you that that's normal.
Because Kelian is also ridiculously curious about the Great Old Ones. That
Okay.
there's something beyond the multiverse. And as someone who has never felt in alignment with what he's supposed to be, that fascinates him.
So while he's convalescing, probably at the Temple of Osprey, I mean, he sends you down to the bazaar to pick up an onion. And he'll get you started.
And I also have one more scene I want to do with Kelian.
Okay.
Which is, at some point when we're all gathered up, like, around near the outside of the Wheel of Sigil, like, recently after we get back, Mahogany pulls into his pocket and pulls out a 5,000 GP diamond and says, "And this is what happens when you make plans." And he throws it off the side of Sigil.
Just into the void?
Into the void.
Why would you do that?
Why would I do what?
That.
I don't know what you mean, Kelian.
Yes, you do.
Were you planning to do that, or did you just happen to have the diamond?
What diamond? Mahogany looks down at his hand. I don't have a diamond.
So there was talk at one point of using the apparatus that the Ciphers had built to go out and rescue at least some of the mazed factals. Does that plan ever get enacted?
Riot is no longer interested in that plan.
Nath kind of hates Sigil still, so he's interested in
Which
esoteric study and
We
assassinating
kept all the good
elephants.
factals.
Terrence, I think, is the main one.
Terrence was a friend of yours.
He was a bloviator.
Yeah, I can see why.
Wait, what did you have against Ambar? Ambar never did nothing to nobody.
Who?
Exactly.
Gave Liberation a book he never read.
It's like the life and times of Ambar or something.
Yeah.
So who stays in Sigil? Just Kelian?
Kelian does, yeah.
Everybody else goes back out to the plains.
Liberation does keep ties with Sigil because he has to move people out of the City of Brass, and he's got his connections to get people out.
Oh yeah, Mahogany very much still stays in Sigil.
Okay.
I've got this stupid business to run that I hate.
So what about Ferocity then?
The Ferocity realizes that she never actually managed to get that date on the airship, so she dives into the Cipher device to pull out Reese. Or not Reese, I'm sorry. Oh god, what's her name?
Aaron.
Aaron Montgomery.
And Ferocity is never seen again. And after a year, nobody remembers hers anymore. And that's it. That brings us to the end of Flumphscape. So that was only like 2 years, right?
Almost
like
exactly.
that.
Didn't we
Yeah.
start making our characters for this like after we came back from the year's break? A couple
That
years
think so.
Sounds
I think
about
so.
right.
Sounds about right.
It's been a
I do
minute.
know that our first session was January of 2014, so this
That
is
was
this is
Salute
our
the Flumph,
third
yeah?
year.
Yeah, okay.
Our very first session was January